Hi, I'm Jon Emmett. I'm at the RYA Dinghy Show. Great pleasure to be joined by Fiona. So, what have you got in your hand, Fiona?
Well, Wind Companion, the smaller version of Wind Strategy, nice and easy pocket guide to take with you on the water. So when you get confused with those headlands and what the wind's going to do, where it's going to bend off the cliffs, off the shore, you can have a quick look. Or, of course, when you're waiting for the sea breeze.
And can you just tell us a little bit about your background? Because we have a wonderful sport of which weather is a huge part. You've been right there at the very top. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yep, so I've been around for a few years. So took over at the RWA Olympic team after Sydney from David Horton.
So that's 2000, just for people who don't know. I know she looks much too young for that, but it's 2000.
Yes, 2000. So we had Athens in 2004. Now I actually grew up racing and reading Wind Strategy when David Horton had first released it, so I was thrilled to be able to republish it with him in the early 2000s.
Same with here. It's really big part of my getting into sailing.
Yeah, absolutely. David and his wife Verna were a huge part of Olympic sailing and also America's Cup sailing, so I've done quite a bit around that. We had GBR Challenge. I was involved a little bit in Valencia. More recently, moving into more sustainable ways, trying to work at carbon reduction projects, but on the whole, I'm still a sailor. I still love wind.
I think sailing is it's a sport for life, but I would say it's not just for the Olympic aspirations. As a club sailor, I think you're going to have a much more fun day if you know what's going on, and perhaps more importantly, why. So it's great to have this little pocket-sized thing. What do you think is the most important thing for people to understand about weather?
I think the first thing is keep it simple. There are so many different elements to weather, but on the one day when you're racing, whether it's an offshore race or inshore, they tend to be quite short. Don't worry about all the many different things that can happen. Focus on the one thing that's there.
The big thing.
The big thing, exactly. And sometimes the weather can be quite simple. If you're racing on the south coast, as long as the Alawite's not in the way, and you've got a southwesterly or prevailing wind, it's quite simple.
That's why I live in Weymouth.
Exactly. So, you think about the effects of Portland, and you know that. You've raced there lots, or even if you haven't, you can look on a map, you can work it out before using some of the diagrams and the theory.
And I've got to say, the venue guides that you have in the full book, fantastically useful.
Thank you. Yes. Well, the whole point is to make you feel like a local sailor, even if it's not your venue when you're travelling around. You can definitely learn some things and patterns in the weather before you even get there, and then just focus on the one that's important.
Doing your homework.
Absolutely. Do your homework. Even if it's on the way there, just look at a map, get in your head what the topography looks like, see what might happen with the wind, and then in the morning go out and see if it's there. And if it's not, forget about it. If it is, use it to your advantage.
And make sure the evening before you have a little look at the
Wind Companion.
Thank you so much for your time, Fiona.